It is that time of year, and that time is now. The spooky season is upon us. Yes, indeed. Fright Fest time is here, and we have exclusive confirmed details on what's to come and what to expect for Fright Fest this year, and I am super hyped to share. With that, let me explain. Hey y'all, Miguel here bringing you details on Fright Fest 2024, marking the 2024 year as the 30th anniversary of this event. And from my understanding, this is set to be a magnificent year for this event, and I couldn't be more excited. This has slowly but surely become my favorite event all year at the park, and it's for sure Six Flags moneymaker too as well. But let's go over a few things. New exciting houses coming to Six Flags Over Georgia this year in 2024. That including a new IP and a returning major IP with a change. Scare zones will be talked about in this video, past pricing to explore the haunted houses, and shows. Food and beverages dedicated to this event have not been revealed just yet at the time of recording, but I'll be sure to cover and or show those in my vlog from Fright Fest once released. Lastly, they are already promoting the merch for the event, and a cool little detail about that too will be shared. Let's dive right in. Houses. Let's jump right in with the houses. There are 5 houses coming to Fright Fest 2024 at Six Flags Over Georgia. 2 brand new houses, and 1 classically awesome house is returning, and 2 of my favorites from the past 2 years are returning too as well. First, the big news is Netflix's very own is now headed to Six Flags, that being Stranger Things. I am an absolute huge fan of the Stranger Things series, and I couldn't be more excited about this house. This is my most anticipated house this year by far, and I am so ready for this. Now let's address the elephant in the room. This was a house over there for Halloween Horror Nights at Universal Studios, and they have now since moved on from it. I'm guessing that Six Flags hopped on the chance to snatch up the IP and bring it to Six Flags Fright Fest, and I'm not mad at that. I am curious though to see if it's going to be an exact replica of the one at Halloween Horror Nights at Universal Studios, but I guess we'll find out, and boy am I excited to do so. 2024 marks the 20th anniversary of the Saw franchise, and yes indeed, the Saw house will be returning to Six Flags. But here's the kicker. It was there last year, as you all know, and we experienced it. But the Saw house for 2024 will be a completely new and reimagined house and experience. I'm curious to know what the story will be behind this one, more so what will the traps look like and how will this one be executed. I actually liked how last year's Saw house looked, and I'm very hopeful that 2024's Saw house will be even better. I'm hopeful. By the way, the reason we can't get the iconic voice saying "you want to play a game" is because Six Flags does not have the voice rights from Tobin Bell to use his voice or likeness. Trust me, I did ask. Camp Slasher has indeed returned. Yes, that does mean that it will take place again where Thunder River Rapids is, meaning that Thunder River Rapids will be closed to hold this haunted house. This 1980s styled Friday the 13th like house is returning as we visit Camp Rainburn to escape the slasher. Okay, this was quite the surprise and my absolute favorite house last year. It was small but super effective because one of your senses is completely taken away and others are enhanced. That being nyctophobia, which nyctophobia means an extreme and irrational fear of the dark. This house had the absolute loudest screams. I was standing in the queue with friends, and I'll be honest, I was getting a tad nervous. And it's a strange experience because the flashlight you cannot control. It'll flicker and some sections completely turn off. And again, you cannot control it. The only thing you can control is where you move it around, but this scare maze is a legit maze. Just go through it yourself and experience it. Last but not least, as far as scare mazes, Carnival of Chaos has returned. This house has been one of my tops since 2021 and has returned near Goliath. And what's more to say then, it's awesome, it has returned, and I'm hyped, but I'm glad Aesthetics hasn't returned next door. That one was something else in not the best way. Now let's shift on over to those roaming nightmares around the park. Scare zones. Scare zones are a staple around the park, and again, they are back, that including one new scare zone. The Promenade Theater is returning at the Promenade, which is a great way to greet those coming to the park, and honestly, it gets a lot of people, I mean a lot of people, as they are leaving the park. New for 2024 is Crimson Vein. It states that we will be experiencing a harrowing descent into a post-apocalyptic nightmare where the world as we knew it has been shattered. Amid the chaotic landscape, two types of survivors remain: the ordinary humans struggling to stay alive, and the vampires. Those creatures transformed by radiation-plagued bats into savage predators. Quite interesting, and I'm curious to see how this one will take shape. Reaper's Curse is making a return. This one is solid, but the huge attention here is always seeing the 6'5" Reaper roaming around. He's cool, but spooky. Roswell, Georgia. Well, that's a place of aliens in Roswell, New Mexico. And it's a play on that because there is an actual city called Roswell, Georgia. It's a nice play on locations if I say so myself. But yeah, a government-irritated quarantine is now classified as a high security incident zone, and it's returning to Fright Fest. Freak Show and Trolls are returning too as well. Two fun ones while I've witnessed the Trolls completely having kids running for their lives. It's a spectacle to see. It really is. Shows. The Uprising is back and has returned to jumpstart the event as the Reaper summons all of the ghosts and ghouls to roam around the park to take over the land. Fun fact here is, I was a part of the Uprising show for one night last year in 2023. Did anyone spot me there last year? Let me know in the comments section down below if you did. Bad Bob the Bone Butcher will be returning too as well. A fan favorite, not too much new to say on this one, but it, from my understanding, will be located in Bugs Bunny Boomtown this year. Quite interesting. Dr. Fright's Dead Man's Party is returning inside of the Crystal Pistol, and man, this show is absolutely top tier phenomenal. The costumes, the decor, stage setup, performances, and songs are superb. It is truly a must watch. Last but not least is the Transylvanian Orchestra. Experience the fusion of a gothic-like rock madness set against the backdrop of an ancient gothic castle. The Transylvanian Orchestra isn't your average rock show. If I remember correctly, this is at the Daredevil Dive stage. And showtimes for all of these shows will be posted outside of their respective venues and locations. Passes. Yes, to be able to experience the haunted houses is an upcharge. You will need one of the haunted attraction passes. There are 3 types of passes that provide the same thing and some different things all at the same time. The Haunted Maze Pass is $40 to be able to enter in all of the haunted houses at Six Flags Over Georgia for one night. And at the time of recording, they are $42.40 online with tax. In addition, you can actually upgrade and skip the lines with the Express Haunted House Maze Pass, where you can bypass all of the long lines, head straight to the front of the attractions, show your wristband, enter in without waiting with anyone else. This will cost, at the time of recording, $79.50 online with tax. Last but not least, as far as passes for Fright Fest, at the time of recording, they have an absolute major deal for the Season Haunted Maze Pass. This pass will get you into every haunted house throughout the entirety of the Fright Fest season at the park. Meaning, every single time you visit the park during Fright Fest, you can go into all the haunted houses. This right now is on sale for $81.61 online with tax, but originally cost $149. As far as for merch, the last year I know they had really upped their game with some really solid merchandise, especially hoodies. Fright Fest merch is back, and the cool thing is, I wanted to mention that you can also buy merchandise online too as well and have it shipped right to your home. But that is it for what to expect and what is new and happening at Fright Fest 2024 at Six Flags Over Georgia, marking it as the 30th year of this event and is expected to be the biggest to date there. Let me know your thoughts on what house you're looking forward to the most, how hyped are you about the Stranger Things IP coming to Six Flags Fright Fest, and what are your thoughts on the return of Camp Slasher? Let me know in the comment section down below because I would love to hear from you. Make sure to subscribe and stay tuned for my vlog coverage of Fright Fest this year because I'm super hyped. But till my next video and or adventure, take care, be well, and remember, Fright Fest is always better and more fun with friends. Have a thrilling, or should I say, a bone-chilling day.